I'm going to start with Haruka and Sora, a brother and sister who are alone after their parents. They sell their apartment and decide to go to the village. The heroes head to the local store to buy groceries and buy a bike while taking in nature. Haruka shows off her sister's new school that Sora doesn't want to attend at home. They installed. He walks in and remembers a time when they were children when they showed unhealthy affection for each other. Haruka stops by her parents' friends and runs into an old friend. Now the girl misses her friend and hopes to find him at school. At the school presentation, everyone greets the newcomer with kindness. He even makes some old friends who he tells Sora about during dinner. Now she drives through the neighborhood and remembers how she and Haruka met at a bus stop, and at one of the intersections she runs into the hero, almost crashing into him, and offers to walk him home talking about her childhood. At the place, Sora sees his brother come home with a girl and becomes very jealous of him. Then Haruka apologizes to him and she forgives him. However, that same night they go to bed together. The next morning Haruka goes to school. On the path her friend Rie runs. Even he notices that the main character has a cell phone. Call him City Boy. Telephone towers were installed not long ago, he tells us, and only my wife Kazuki has those devices. The other kids join them and go to school together. Ikara 1. One of the temple attendants found something in the boy and became very fond of him during recess, making Kazuki jealous. The girls turn out to be an odd duo as the other is in love and patronizing her girlfriend. Kazula shows modest interest, which Rihei then mocks, and embarrasses the girl. Akara was stupid, although after class Haruka warned Sora that she would be late because she needed to get mosquito nets from Akira at the temple. The girl tells him that she lives alone and takes care of everything. From the conversation between her sister and the hero we learn that they have no parents. The older one runs a store and takes care of the younger one on his way home. Haruka comes across Kazui's car, who offers him a ride. She tells him that she is extremely pretty, Akara detective, and he gets worried a lot about her since her smile is actually fake. At home, Haruka finds her sister's school uniform and convinces her to go to school with him. She accepts, and the next day Rie is already trying to flirt with her cute little sister in the swimming class that the boys have. Fun with hose, Akira pours water on everyone and accidentally hits Kazuha. She runs away getting all her things wet. Haruka finds her phone and rushes to give it back to her. But at the locker room door she hears the girls talking, which she learns about that Akara and Kazuha are sisters. After class, the hero heads home, but Kazuha catches him on the bridge and discovers that the boy was eavesdropping at the door and tells him about his father who left alone with Akara's mother, Kara, so she decided to take care of her herself. The hero promises that he won't tell this secret to anyone and goes home to school the next day. Kazula brings a violin to class, which surprises Haruka. He asks her to touch him, but she rejects him. Rie enters the classroom and suggests that the boys they go to the sea on a weekend at the beach. Everyone puts on swimsuits and has fun while Rie tries to take pictures of the girls, so he gets kicked in the face when she returns. A cute moment develops between Kazuha and Haruka and she promises to play the violin for the hero. One day Sarah realizes this and becomes jealous of her brother and classmate. The day of the summer festival is approaching and Kazula asks her to help the hero collect offerings for the altar and go to the temple. After class, the locals prepare familiar accessories, as the couple's friendliness embarrasses them. Later, a butler calls the girl's phone and tells them that he was late for his violin class. We learn by heart that her father taught her to play the violin, and then she promises that she will do everything she can to receive praise from him. The father arrives at the temple to ask Akira if his daughter was here during her lessons. He shakes hands with Haruka, remembering his parents and their help for the village. Haruka and the girl ask him to wait for them as they walk towards the store. The couple talks about what they think and they get closer and kiss. The brother waits for his brother while she goes to look for him. He meets Akira and goes to an old store where they talk about Haruka and Kazuha talking about their desire to help their neighbors after class. Kazuha wants to help Akara with the preparations. The girl does not insist and spends time with Haruka in music class, where she plays a melody for him. Together they decide to go home, where on the way they are stopped by Akira's older sister, and they tell her that she has not passed by here after cleaning the grounds. They run together to the temple and see her lying on the ground, since it turns out that she was overloaded with work, which caused her to lose consciousness. They asked him to get a good night's sleep and take care of some of his duties the next day. Akira again tries to help with the preparations for the festival. Kazuha scolds her friend, after which the girls show that their love cannot be shown due to community rules at the festival. Akara and Haruka spend time together at the temple. Kazuha approaches them and asks the hero to walk for a while. After leaving Akara, they discuss her destiny as a girl and her father's attitude towards her. Upon returning, they see Kazuha's father caressing Akara. The girl realizes that her father has loved her as if she were his all her life. After the cute story at Kazui's house, they get involved in a mix of genes on the day after school. Akara asks not to tell anyone about what happened at the festival and goes home with the hero when Haruka comes home and remembers the pendant he and Akara had buried under a tree when they were children and offered to find it. Akira did not care, and in the morning they went to the site, but the tree fell into the river. The protagonist did not stop it and began to look for it near the shore. Unfortunately, they could not find it. So they went to the temple to wash after the field robots. Strangely enough, they decided to take a bath together and then lie down peacefully on the floor of the room for the night. Akira decided to burn the diary of memories that says she was mixed up with Kazuha. At the maternity hospital, the hero decided to discuss this with the girl's older sister, but she ignored him, saying that nothing would change if she told everything to Akara's father. Meanwhile, Kazuha decided to tell everything to her mother about the possible confusion in the maternity hospital. He decided to tell everything and invited Akira to the house. He returned the pendant that was buried under a tree and told the story of how it came to the girl in the maternity hospital. Akira's mother passed away almost immediately after giving birth, leaving the baby behind. Then she took Kara in her arms and snatched the pendant from her after a family conversation. Akira and Haruka go to the temple where she rewards the hero with platonic love in the morning. Sora complains about the mosquitoes in his room and accidentally stabs his brother in the face. Now he comes to visit and brings pest poison as a gift. Later at school, the hero talks about the girl with Rei. Buddy scoffs and says he likes her, but Haruka won't admit it. Now she comes to visit Hiro and he pulls out an old service. Tea in it. Remember the old days? They talk about how he can only relax around her like that. They try to kiss, but Sora interrupts them and is jealous of his brother. Now he shows his newly sewn uniform to his little sister and she closes the door. The next day, Rei vividly appreciates Sora's new uniform. Haruka decides to go to the pool and now she needs to go there. The hero asks him to teach him how to swim. The girl accepts and the lessons begin. When training is over, the boys go to the locker room. Haruka, he hears a scream from the women's locker room and runs towards the girl. When he enters the locker room, he sees now standing next to a cat which apparently jumped out of a box. Suddenly a guard appears and they decide to hide in one of the boxes. Now he decides to take the hero home, saying that it's better that Sora doesn't know about their relationship. At home, Haruka is already in a mess. Sarah finds out about his exploits and that he is silently forgetting and not caring about her the next day. At school now she offers to have lunch together, but she gets angry and simply leaves our partner. She goes home without regrets and drinks tea in the room while Sora sleeps in the next room, after which they decide to play adult games, letting her eye look at them from behind the door and violently throws the girl away. He leaves the house saying that he is trying to take her brother away from him again and asks her to stay away from his brother again. The next day the characters do not approach or meet so as not to anger the little sister. In the morning the hero invites Sora to go to the sea with him, but she refuses. While he spends time with his friends, he gets carried away and drowns in the water, dragging him to the shore. Now he gives him artificial respiration which saves our child. Coincidentally, Sora arrives at the beach too and she sees a photo of now kissing her brother. After a couple of days the girl gets sick and this prevents the hero from going to school. Giving her pills and taking care of her, she still tries to go to school even though her sister is against it. After school, she decides to walk with him now in search of street food. But on the way home they see Haruka's bike in the lake and realize that Sora has run away from home. The girl wanted to leave because she believes it is not necessary. Lightning strikes the cabin and they walk away to a safe distance. The girl's black hair remains there and now she decides to save him by jumping into the fire. Then he takes her home to school. Rie asks her permission to Haruka to go out with his sister, but he defends himself and says that the idea is bad. At lunch and now they talk about not being able to see each other for a while, until Sora calms down and the hero returns home. His sister welcomes him in the door with a single towel. However, the hero denies her tenderness with his indifference. Sora sits at home remembering his brother and hoping that he will return soon. But he in turn walks around the city with Now and has fun. After spending some time, he drags her by the arm and takes her to a motel where he tries to make love to her. The girl cries, saying that her relationship doesn't seem serious to her from the beginning. She seems somehow insecure. The hero realizes this, he leaves the girl and goes home. There was a surprise waiting for him at home. His little sister started doing her homework home and even helped wash the clothes. The next day the girl had a fever and her brother stayed home to take care of her. He woke up and found Haruka sitting next to his bed. She wakes him up and tells him that she can no longer hide her feelings for her brother, and they make love the next day at school. They appeared too friendly with each other, so Sora asks him not to behave strangely at school. At home, she cooks for the hero and does household chores at earnest. Now, after every school day, Haruka immediately ran home to spend time with her sister, who was willing to do anything for his brother, so after class they decided to do bad things. Things right at the school gate. Now he realizes that the hero has left his phone and wants to return it to him. When he gets home, he sees a photo of a brother and sister doing forbidden things. Now he runs away and Haruka tries to catch him. He gets up with her in a panic and tells her that her sister has set her heart on fire, and that now they are leaving town because there is no money left. Later at home, she tells Sora everything and tells her that they should go with her parents' acquaintances, but she is against it and runs away from home. Haruka raises the alarm and the friends go to look for her. The hero finds her in the water near the temple. He rescues her and promises that they will go with their acquaintances and be together forever without ever separating.